Namaste and welcome back to the Pi Podcast. 12 Myths and Misconceptions of IELTS.
People having misconceptions about maintaining British English or American English.
We actually, interestingly, changed our spellings some point around 300 years ago.
Americans write it as C-O-L-O-R and Britishers prefer to write C-O-L-O-U-R.
Using complex words guarantees high bank score.
As we always say, quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to misconception number 10.
Okay, so it says practicing only with official materials. I think as long as the student is able to comprehend the question well, and as long as the student is able to deliver it well, it does not matter which website you're following, or it does not matter which book you're actually referring to. So it is a language test, so if you're able to deliver what is asked for, I think you're good to go.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about learning English as much as you can, and you've got to make sure you're listening to the best quality English where you see good grammar and things like that. There are so many good TV shows and movies you can watch that are in English, but the characters don't always speak the best English. They might speak an English that would probably only get them band 7 or band 8, when it comes to speaking. But you want to be seeing the very best grammar being spoken, and of course we have the preparealtsexam.com to help, and there are so many other podcasts where you get listening examples and things. Just keep familiarizing yourself. Even though they can be quite boring sometimes. So look for some interesting topics or interesting examples definitely as well. Okay, Rishi, moving on to number 11.
So we've got another one is accommodation request affects scores. Technically, if I've not understood the question, I did not get an opportunity for asking for another question. Just to be fair and impartial to students, the company which is conducting the exams will be giving you one fixed question. These questions may be repeated time and again. It may pop up somewhere in next month, or it could be a combination of another question. But then the idea is, if I'm not sure about the answer, I would not let it go off, because at the end of the day, band scores do matter. So I will still make an attempt to understand whatever best I can give. But it may be a format, maybe not wrong, but your idea would still be there. Right?
Absolutely. With part 2 on the speaking, you could be asked a question. You could be asked to give a 2-minute talk on a subject that you don't have any life experience for. Like, for example, you might be asked describe a vacation that you went on, and not everyone's been on a vacation, especially at the ripe young age of 17 or 18. So it would be unfair to ask that question to someone who's not had that experience. So you're always welcome to ask for another question to follow it up if you're asked about something that you don't feel confident even discussing in your own language.
In speaking round task 3, complex questions, if I've not understood the question well, I can ask them to rephrase, but there is no choice of having the question being changed for you.
Yes.
But if it's a habit that the student is portraying second question, third question, fourth question, then the assessor will stop you right then and there.
But sometimes it is very important to get a question repeated. I mean, about 100 times a day, I ask people to say that question again to me here. Again, that's come down to accent sometimes as well. Because if I'm not focused and someone asks me a question, it doesn't come naturally. I'm like, sorry, say that again? Okay, I got it this time. But when I have to ask a third time, that's when it's embarrassing. Okay, and finally, we got the last one. What's that, Asheen?
Okay, so it is all test takers receive the same questions. So yes, for the reading module, if it is a general training test taker, all general training test takers are going to get the same set of questions. Same goes for the listening module as well. Writing again same, but for speaking, questions would surely differ.
Absolutely, yeah. But also, you're talking about on the day. So
the day of.
So when you go in, everyone's going to get the same paper, the same listening audio.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be very unfair if that was different, wouldn't it? But when it comes to speaking, it's whatever comes up on the day.
Those questions are randomly selected, so anybody can get anything. So somebody who's just finished with the speaking, I cannot ask the student the question that was put to him and believe that, okay, the same may be put to me as well. Okay, so these are going to be very different from each other.
Now, as with a lot of exams, a lot of it does come down to your preparation, but also a little bit of luck on what questions come up on the day. But when it comes to the speaking, I think the questions that you're asked shouldn't make too much of a difference of what your overall school will get. It's all about the words you say rather than the questions you get.
Yes.
And the questions will affect what you say a little bit, but as long as you have the knowledge and the confidence, you should be able to give a response that is necessary. There is a way of speaking and communicating where you can ever so slightly change a question that's been asked of you, as long as you show that you've interpreted the question in this way, and it is a fair interpretation of what the question is. Like, I'll give an example. Let's say, for example, you're asked about a vacation that you went on, and you decided to answer about just a road trip that you did. Because you could even say, well, vacations aren't something I have much knowledge on, but I do remember a road trip that I went on, which I can talk about and I found very memorable. That's acceptable, and that's just normal communication, isn't it? Yes. We talk about what we know, and we try not to waffle.
And to add this, in reading section, in task 2, academic student and general student could have the same identical question. It's just the opinion could be asked or opinion may not be asked. Possibility of that, right? 90% of the times.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for coming in again, and we're talking about these misconceptions. Hopefully we've put our students' minds at ease about what to expect in the IELTS exam. And we look forward to you joining us again on the next program. Have a good day.